Hey guys, Tobin here from SnapToCover.com. Wanted to bring you a tutorial series on how to use the editor in Arma 3. The editor is an extremely powerful tool that can allow you to make your own missions to play both in single player and on your own server. Um, we use this tool a lot in our clan to make special missions for our entire clan to play, and it's very feature rich. It allows you to do a lot, and I'm really happy that Bohemia Interactive actually allows you to have this much flexibility with their game. So without further ado, let's click on the editor button here and get into creating our first mission. The series, we're hoping to start with something extremely basic, just to get your feet wet, and then we're going to slowly build on that mission and add more features as we go along. So to start this off, I've got a lot of maps here. That's because our clan plays on a lot of these different maps. So to keep it simple, let's click on Stratus and then hit continue here in the right hand corner, and this will bring up the editor. As here you can scroll wheel in and out. You can right click and this will let you move the map around. So to start things off, let's start over here. You can really do it anywhere you want, but let's make sure that this top one is highlighted. And we are going to double click right here. You can ignore this error. This is just something from the mod pack that I'm using. And this is going to allow us to insert a single person. In order to try out your map or to save it, you're going to need to have a player available in the map. So let's click blue 4 faction. We're going to set this to NATO. The class, this allows you to pick if you're going to do an air asset, a car, a truck, a tank, a boat. But we're going to select men and we're going to hit rifleman. If you do any of the vehicles, what it'll do is put that type of vehicle down with someone in the car driving it. In special, this is really for if you're using a helicopter, you can set it as actually flying instead of being placed on the ground. It'll be placed in the air. Cargo, if you're a person, and you're in a group, you can actually set this individual person to be in the back of a truck. Vehicle, let's see, flying, information. So let's just keep it at information or none. Doesn't really matter. Control, we want this to be player. The other options here are non-playable, which is AI controlled, and playable, which is playable on a multiplayer server. So let's just do player here. And vehicle lock, we're going to do just default, that's fine. Rank doesn't really matter because it's going to be us. Info age, I'm not 100% sure what this does, so we're just going to ignore that. Azimuth, this is basically the direction that you want to be facing. So, north is 0. 90 degrees is going to be east. It's basically just a clock formation from there. Let's go just a little bit below 90, so 105 degrees is what I have it set at here. This will give us a nice look down the road from where we're placed. Elevation, if you want to get placed on top of a building, you can actually use the elevation to select it. This is in meters, so that's just something to keep in mind. When you set it at 1, you're going to start about a meter off the ground, and you will fall until you contact a surface that will allow you to stand. So let's do skill. This we won't need to set because it's all based on our own skill level, but health and armor, if we wanted to start off really injured, we could set the health down really low or really high. If you do a vehicle and you set the health really low, it will explode. That's something to keep in mind. Fuel, if you have a vehicle, you can have it start off with really low fuel. Maybe that's something you want in your mission. Ammunition, how much you start with. I think this only affects vehicles. I haven't really played around with that too much. Usually when I play something, it starts at 100%. Probability of presence is really cool for AI controlled players and characters. This is basically, does it always spawn? Does it never spawn? Does it spawn half the time? Maybe a quarter of the time? You can play around with that slider. And that way, if you do something like you place 100 soldiers on the field, You can make it so that maybe 50% of the time each one actually spawns, and it limits your number down to 50, but you don't really know which of those 50 are actually going to spawn. Condition of presence, true or false. So these are the two values here. This basically determines, you could, I think, put a variable in here too and have that be set to true or false based on some conditions in a parent script. I haven't really played with that too much. But basically it's, does this guy spawn or not? And then placement radius, you can basically put a person down and then they will actually spawn somewhere within, you put this at 5, it would be somewhere within 5 meters of where they are marked on the map. So we're just going to hit this at 0 so that it spawns exactly where we place it, and we'll hit OK. And this will put the guy right there, and the red circle shows that this is who the player is. So let's test this out. We're going to go up here to the top and hit preview. And this will basically compile our mission and bring us directly into the game. And you can see that we're both facing east down this road. And I'm pretty hurt somehow. I'm not 100% sure how that happened. Maybe I didn't set the scaler. Something happened. We'll go into the editor and look to see what that's all about. But here I am. Yeah, I'm on the road. I'm looking down the street and going pretty good. Let's see exactly why he's injured. Oh, I put health and armor at 50%. So I'm going to cancel that and just replace them just to make sure that everything's okay. So I'm just going to go and hit OK there. And let's hit preview again just to make sure that that's all cleared up and he's not injured. Cool. So yeah, he's perfectly healthy and fine now. But yeah, we can walk around the mission. This is basically a mission. You could save this, you could put it on a public server and play with basically just yourself because there's no other players. You could make a little single player mission and put on the workshop. Alright, so let's abort this mission again. Now, this is cool and all, but wouldn't it be nice if we had a car that we could drive? So let's click right over here on the side of the road. And we're going to go to side. We're going to change this to empty to place an empty car. Let's go to cars. And let's do the MATV NATO. And this will place what used to be the Hunter down. And let's hit preview again and see if that spawned. So cool. Got a truck right on the side of the road here. Walk over to the passenger or the driver's side, and we're actually able to drive around a truck. So step 2 is done. We have a vehicle. We can get around the island a little easier. And what we're going to say for this mission is that there's 2 enemy holding a gas station. So let's double click again, and we're going to go to Op4, and we're going to do CSAT air. We're going to set to men, and we're going to set this as rifleman, and change his direction. And then we can hit Control C while he's dark, and then Control V over here, and that'll allow us to paste him without having to do this and then this. And hit delete over him just to delete them. You can also, if you select all of them and then do Shift Delete, that'll actually delete everything that's highlighted. But we don't want to do that. We've done all this work to put those guys there. So, cool beans. Alright, so mission right now, get in the truck and then kill these 2 CSAT operation guys right over there by the gas station. So let's hit preview and carry out the mission. So we're going to run across the street and get in this truck and go kill those nasty CSAT. They're a little too close to our base. Howdy, boys. Probably good enough right there. Let's get out. too close. See it right there? And they will attack me. You don't have to do anything to make someone attack if they're opposing. If they see someone that's of the opposing faction, then they will attack. So we got one guy right there. Got him. Just to show that I'm gonna run up and I'll probably die. But I just want to show them shooting at me. At least it shows that it placed it. Go in pistol. Where's that other guy? I bet it placed him right around here. Oh, no. Scared the crap out of me. Shit, get around the building. Woo. Good firefight. There we go. Got him. You got me pretty good, though. That was fun. Alrighty, let's hop. So that basically shows you what it's like. I got this awesome mod on. Shows you how to treat yourself. Let's see exactly what he did to me. The patient has heavy injuries on the left arm and left leg. The patient has light injuries to the torso. The patient is bleeding. The patient has loss of blood. And the patient isn't on painkillers, which is why my screen is freaking out so much. It's supposed to be like watery vision or something. Yeah, both guys are down. And I think we can leave it at that. So, I think that's a good stopping place for this first introductory. We've basically learned how to use this unit placement tool, which will allow you to put a single unit down on it, whether it's a single person that's a player, also a car that's empty that we can get into, and then a couple units. You could put as many units as you wanted to. You could put vehicles and tanks and try to shoot those. But that's the basics of a mission. It's just placing units where you want it to and try to come up with some sort of story behind it. So lastly, let's hit save here. We're just going to do this as a user mission. We're going to call this tutorial and hit OK. And we're done. Hey guys, Tobin here. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, always snap to cover.